What is up, everyone? We are now in the car. We have just flashed the 034 Motorsport 93 file to the car. This is the first tune we've done on the car, and we're going to take it for a little test drive. We've already driven it a little bit, got a feel for it. It is, yeah, pretty crazy. So the first thing I will say that I've noticed in driving this car is in daily in it, so when we're in dynamic mode but we're not in sport right now, is it doesn't feel any different. It feels the exact same in just cruising. The way the gears shift and where they kind of shift, all that kind of stuff feels stock. It feels very thoroughly thought out. There's never a time where you feel like, I wish it was shifting right now, or I wish, you know, the throttle response was differently, or that kind of thing. It feels very stock, which is awesome. That is exactly what we were wanting. We wanted this tune to be dailyable, and in regular, you know, comfort mode, so to speak, or in, you know, your dynamic mode without the sport on, it is that. The valves do stay open, so you do hear a little more. The engine is a little louder. The exhaust, you're not going to probably be able to pick it up too much, but the exhaust is definitely more notable. I think it's because the valves are kind of staying open all the time. That was one thing that they did say in the file, which is cool. The other little thing I have noticed, and it is making me happier than a, you know, pig in a blanket, so to speak, is the auto start, auto off thing that we have to always reach down and hit because we hate this car. With that button, it just stays off. It remembers whatever I did last, which is awesome, and that part I am loving. So we're getting the car up to temperature now. We're cruising a little bit. Earlier we got on it quite a bit. It was pretty awesome. So yeah, let's get going here. Alright, so we have been driving here for a few minutes, letting it warm up, and we now have it in sport mode. Now here is where honestly the tune really sets itself apart. Now this is just 93, guys. We have no mods, tune alone. So if you just want to flash a car, get it over with no mods, this is probably what you want. It is dramatically different in the stage 193 tune. We haven't got the E85 yet, but dramatically different. When you're in sport mode, the car wakes up. It comes to life. The downshifts are dramatically more aggressive. You hear it out the back here. We're stopping at a light. And during a pull, we're going to go ahead and turn down the air here. During a pull, it's a different pull. Whereas before, the stock tune, you know, like from the factory, you had a very heavy first gear, which was nice. You had a nice, good pull. It would kind of fall on its face a little bit in second, and then start to build back up a little bit in third and fourth again, and into fifth and so on. It would just kind of fall at times, right? And it's just because well, I don't know what it is. It's not getting enough boost, whatever. We ran to 12.62 with it, you know, running like that. So it's not like it's doing anything wrong. It's just, you know, it needs a little bit, right? It's a little babied. With the 034 stage 1 tune, it's dramatically different. Dramatically. The torque hits instantly. We're going to get going here in a second. And it feels like you're always in like a power band, or, you know, always in boost, so to speak. I mean, I got a Hellcat in front of us. We're going to, oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. We're going to let off. All right, so that was 0 to 60, just to give you a reference. I went 67 miles an hour there. So I did a little, oh, he's pulling off. All right. Maybe not. Maybe we'll get a little run in here. Oh, he's turning off. All right. So it is dramatically faster, and it pulls all the way through first, all through second, third, fourth. You know, we've run it quite a bit, and it is dramatically better. And everyone is being a moron on the road right now. Yeah, we're gonna drive by a little car show here. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see this at all. Cool classic car show going on right there. Yeah, it is dramatically faster. I can't wait to get it out to the track this Thursday and see what kind of times this car picks up in the quarter. It feels like a different car. It really does. The shifts are crisp, they're quick. I notice nothing different. It feels like an RS4 or something like that. It just feels like it should be this way. I don't know why they don't come from the factory this way and get a tune out there like that in a car like this, but they should, because it is just enjoyable as hell. It's a different animal. It's a completely different animal. And I'm still, like, I'm in dynamic and sport mode right now, and it feels comfortable. I'm not jumping around. I'm not too quick on the throttle response or too laggy. It's just, it seems thought out. The other thing I have noticed in driving it, here we let it heat up earlier and ran it around for a while and then let it cool down. We already did a little bit of, actually quite a bit of driving in it. It is cooler. It's like the air, I don't know, the fans are kicking on earlier for the radiator. I'm not sure, but the oil temps are staying cooler longer. It'll let it get up to the 160s, 170s pretty quick, and then it'll kind of hold there instead of letting it get to the 190s, you know, into the 200s after cruising in it. Even if you're doing some pulls, it keeps it cooler. So they must be doing something with the, you know, with the coolant to keep the engine, you know, from getting too hot, because they know you're going to be pushing it and you're going to be running a lot hotter once you run a lot more boost and you're advancing timing and things like that. But it is running cooler, which is interesting. Now, we are not tracking the car. We are not track guys. We are quarter mile guys, so we take it to the quarter mile track, but I'm not taking this around an oval track or any kind of road course or anything like that. You guys can probably hear the exhaust note picked up quite a bit. That is something I do notice in sport mode, is you do hear the exhaust more while driving under load. It sounds quite a bit better. And the main part you notice different too is the at low RPMs, when normally your valves would be closed, you know, even in dynamic mode your valves are closed when you're kind of getting going until you open it up. Now you actually hear it a little bit down in the bottom end, so that's kind of cool too. All right guys, so we are gonna head out to the track now. I'm gonna keep driving this bad boy around, testing it out. We'll give you guys more updates as it comes, but we're gonna head out to the track, or at least you guys are gonna head out to the track. We won't for a couple days. And we're gonna do some quarter mile times. We're gonna run this guy, hopefully get at least good 3 solid runs in. We'll post the DAs. We'll get pictures of the time slips and pictures of the draggy. Might even do some draggy videos. And we'll see what this guy does. You know, we'll see what the 93034 Motorsports tune does without any mods, just the tune alone. So stock car. It's a 2019 we've got. I never told you guys this. We've got, you know, 15,000 miles on the car. So there is literally nothing wrong or nothing going on with the car. And we're just going to see what it does stock and with just a tune. And compare that to, you know, what's out there and see what these guys are doing out there. So, yeah. So I'm thinking we should try and run this guy at the track. There's a freaking McLaren going to the damn track. America. What is up, guys? We just got out to the track. I don't even know if you can hear me. We got a number 104 tonight, so that's pretty awesome. We got a lot of badass cars. Do a quick spin around. V8s, V8.5s, all kinds of Audis and Beamers and Jags. And got the CTSV over there from Project CTSV. And yeah, we'll post the DA. It's nice and cool tonight, and we'll get at it. Alright guys, so as you saw there, we just did an 11.95 at 110. We're something like that. I'll have to pull the paper back out. There is quite a bit of people out here tonight. Weather's great, but people keep breaking down, so it's taking forever to get these runs in. So I'm going to try and get one more run in. We're sitting here in the car. Make sure she stays a little warm because it's pretty cold out. And then, yeah, we'll report back. I'll give you my impressions here later when when it's not so loud. All right, guys, we'll see you. Guys, we just finished that run. We did a 12.054, pretty much 12 flat. I red lighted though. I was trying to beat the Hellcat next to me. It still did a 166 60 foot, so that is pretty awesome. I'll review this a little later, guys, and give you my full thoughts when I process them, but she falls flat at the top of the track for sure. It gets slow on the last quarter or so of the track, so I think that's where that E85 is really going to help, you know. Also, there is no mods done to this car, so there's no airflow mods. There's no intake, exhaust, downpipe, none of that intercooler. So we got good DA out here, and I never told you guys earlier, by the way. The only lighting mods I've done, and it's not a mod, but the only lighting I did was I did pull the spare tire out of the trunk, so we're spare tireless. That's it. So, yep, we'll meet back up with you guys here in a minute. All right, guys, welcome back. We are back here at the house. That was a good day at the track. We did only get 2 runs in. There was accidents, and I'm an old man and got tired. So we had some accidents. We had good weather. So we were able to get a pretty good idea of what this guy runs stock, and just with the stage 193. So final thoughts. Figure we give you some final thoughts on the car. First, second, and third gear pull very hard. Very, very, very hard. Much harder than it did stock. I can't imagine it being much faster when you start doing these mods, but it is pretty fast. Where it falls, I think it needs to open up a little bit. Maybe we start doing some mods, and the E85 will really help. But at that top, it does kind of fall. It's not falling flat like I was saying earlier, but it is definitely not pulling like it is in the first 3 gears. And like even at the top of each gear, it falls just a little bit. But it is pretty impressive how much power we gained just from that 93 tune. You can more than feel it, and you can definitely see it in the time slips. I mean, we're getting almost a whole second in the quarter, which is crazy. You really feel it, you know, that first 3 quarters of the track. That last quarter is where you really notice you need more horsepower, maybe some E, let it advance the timing and pull the power up top. So that's pretty crazy. I wrote a little note here so I don't forget to tell you guys what my final thoughts were, because I'm getting old and I forget shit like that. So somebody was asking how we launched the car. And if we're messing with any of the paddles, when we're shifting, that kind of thing. No, we are letting the transmissions do a thing. We don't want to really we don't want to have our effect on changing any of the times. So we let the transmission just run out every time. So whatever when we flash the actual transmission tuner, it changes that. We're just going to let it do its thing from 034. So we're not changing any paddles. We're not short shifting. You could probably short shift and get a few more miles per hour at the top, and actually gain some time if you wanted on that stock transmission tune. But we're not doing any of that, so we're just going to let it run out. The other way, we're launching it by the way you're supposed to launch these ones. So, you're in dynamic, you're in sport, traction control fully off, smash the pedal to the ground, smash your brake pedal to the ground, smash your dash pedal to the ground, it'll hold. Forget what the RPMs in, 3,500 RPMs or whatever that number is. It'll actually hold there, and you can actually hear the boost. Like, once it climbs to that number, if you hold it there for a second, after about 2 seconds, 3 seconds at that amount, you'll actually hear it kind of change the sound a little bit, holding the boost. So it is actually building boost somehow. That's kind of cool. You can actually almost hear it. It's crazy. And that's where we leave it, and I do that as soon as the second stage light comes up. So we got a second stage light, and then, you know, the lights start dropping. So that's the time that by the time we release on the third light. Next, we will be doing, so the next thing that we're going to be doing to it, probably today, even though it's gross day, is we're probably going to be doing a E85 tune today. So we're going to throw a E85 flash on it from 034. Pretty excited about that. I've heard it gets pretty bonkers. So we're kind of excited about that today. So we'll flash that today. We'll give you guys a video next week on that. Hopefully this weather gets better and we stop raining and we can actually get back out to the track. So we're going to flash E85. And we're also going to install a K&N air filter. I'll do a little mini video on that. We're just going to drop an air filter in it, drill some holes in the factory box, see if that does anything. Probably won't, but might give us some sound, which would be kind of fun. If not, we'll probably go with, you know, Cool Kid APR or 034, you know, carbon fiber stuff. So we got a little carbon fiber interior on this car, so we might match it up with some carbon fiber stuff. Probably not going to do much other than make it look cool and sound good. What was the last thing we had? Oh yeah, the last thing I did want to talk about, the heating on this car. I mentioned it a little bit before earlier in the video when we were talking. It stays really cool, like dramatically cool. With this new tune, it keeps it much cooler. You notice it. So when it's running cool, the car is much faster. I will say this: the car is heat soaked, or is affected a lot by the heat soak. I'll word it that way. So when we do get it hot, we had a couple days where in Florida you go from like 50 degrees outside to like 80 the next day. We had 2 days where it got up in the 80s, even close to 90, and I drive pretty far. When it gets heat soaked, you notice it slow down dramatically. It is pretty dramatic how much it slows down when the heat hits it. So I think sooner than later we'll probably go stage 2 and just do the intercooler. I don't know which one we're gonna go with. You guys comment below, let me know what would be a good intercooler. You guys probably know better than I do. I'm just sharing you guys my thoughts, but we are gonna have to probably do an intercooler sooner than later when it starts heating back up here in Florida. The car is affected by that quite a bit. Other than that, guys, you know, like and subscribe if you guys want to see more of our content. Let us know. If I suck at doing videos, please tell me, because otherwise I just look like a guy standing at my house talking to a phone. So yeah, we will talk to you guys soon, and we'll see you later. Peace. I'm out of here.